so lucky today. We have got the best looking dude in Portland here. His name's Jeff Bernheisel. This guy is a legend. That's the whole point of an intro. So we're super lucky to have Jeff here. His time is very expensive, and he's a busy dude. But Jeff has been featured on CNN, Inman, Huffington Post, and other publications speaking about SEO, website analytics, small business, medium, large, giant business marketing stuff, all of that stuff. Man, when I met you, you had an Angry Birds website that you sold and bought a Range Rover with. That was pretty cool. You've worked on all of the top real estate websites, both industry and realtor. What else? You have your own private network of 200 plus affiliate websites.
It's like, yeah, that's right.
That's a lot of websites. Currently, you work for MarTech, a division for a national title insurance company. You also co-manage the largest SEO group on Facebook. And then you're the co-founder of the nation's largest whiskey lifestyle website called
The Whiskey Wash.
The Whiskey Wash, which is awesome if you're looking for whiskeys. And if that wasn't enough, in his free time, he is also opening the most elegant private social club and bottle vault of Portland, which is in construction right now.
Yep.
By the time this comes out, it'll be open, and we'll be having your grand opening party.
Yes.
Which I'm super excited about. Thank you so much for being here with us and just hanging out.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you. So Jeff has helped not only all these amazing people, but us little guys over here at Fit Kitchen to really grow our marketing, get it dialed in on the social media platforms, all that good stuff. So Jeff, tell us more.
Well,
what's the one secret?
Facebook.
That's it. Post pictures of your cat?
Yeah, actually, it's ice cream and dogs are the two most popular things ever.
That is true.
That's a fact.
So, I have a great idea for the next video.
What should any small business do before launching their website or their store? And you're currently doing this now with The Keep.
I think the first thing, I'm looking back, like anytime I've started anything, and I've owned a couple of my own companies now, and then just anybody that I consult for, I always tell them, like, you got to find your story and know what you're all about, obviously, before you can go tell the world about it. And I think a lot of people don't get that right in the beginning, or they don't put enough effort into it or thought into it. So you kind of have this idea and you're like, hey, this is awesome. Here's what we're doing. And there's kind of this thing, there's a saying or a meme or whatever you want to call it in marketing. It's like, just get it out to market. And I kind of don't agree with that strategy. There's some people that, spend way too much time in the weeds and way too much time in the details, and they don't ever launch anything. Like, I'm not saying do that, but there are other people that are just like, screw it, here's an idea, let's go. And I think you have to put a little bit of time and effort into figuring out what you're all about, who your people are, who your target demographic and your target market is, and then how you're going to tell your story to them. And so with the websites and any sort of marketing, I always start with that. Like, I think, I'm not going to quote anybody, but just start with why. Like, what's your why? Who are your people? And then how can you tell them about it? Like, that's
so don't do what we did and wing it. We kind of made our story as we went. And if I had that advice earlier, I would have taken it.
Well, it's a beautiful thing to watch somebody that can actually completely wing something and still come out ahead. Like, you guys have done an amazing job at that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, there's always exceptions to every rule. Not that it's a rule, but to be able to wing it, adapt, and change as you go and figure things out, like that's a true entrepreneur right there. So kudos.
So you get your story. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at least put some thought into it.
A little bit of thought, please.
And then the next step is always to create a website, no matter who you are, right? Or what you do.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices out there as far as websites go.
Yeah.
We went with Shopify for our website. I know you've dabbled with pretty much every platform there's out there.
Yep.
What do you recommend for other people looking to get something started, like up today? Let's get it up.
Yeah, so it depends a little bit on the product. If it's an information product versus a an e-commerce or a physical product or whatever. But for the most part, like WordPress has always been my go-to, just because of the customizability and with design and features and all that stuff. But there are other situations, like in your guys' case, where you're like, we have, I don't say a single product, but basically a single product, and we're trying to sell it online, like Shopify and what's the other one?
Wix or
Squarespace.
Yeah. So Shopify and Squarespace, those are the two that are really meant for like e-commerce type sales like that. And then Wix and then WordPress. The cool thing about WordPress is you can get the Shopify and all these plugins that you can do. But for the average person that's just trying to get something up, have a little bit of design and a little bit of a story, like WordPress is usually a little too complex. So that's where Shopify and Squarespace have made their niche. They charge a certain monthly fee for that, and then you're off and running. You can set one up in a day, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, nice. And both platforms, I would say, are pretty self-explanatory. You can at least learn to make the website on there. You don't have to pay a ton of money for somebody else to make them.
Yep.
So, okay, they get this platform, they've got their website, and this is a question we get all the time about our marketing. What should you expect to pay for marketing? Do you tell your clients to have a certain percentage? Is there a set amount? What are people looking at dollar-wise?
I hate being vague answer guy. But, it depends, and I think generally what I tell people is if you're just trying to get information out there, start with the basics and go with, actually pretty much anybody, start with the basics and go with the free social media channels. Right. There's a lot of awesome stuff, as you guys know, that you can do with Instagram and all these free platforms. Then you start dabbling in the paid stuff. So we start running ads. And usually with my clients, when I'm starting out, it's like, I can do some pretty amazing things with $5 a day on Facebook ads. And then like in your guys' case, we're like, all right, we've been there, done that. Let's get it up. Like now we're ramping up to where we want sales to increase and scalability and all that. And now we're spending several $100s a day. Then there's the next level, and it just keeps going up and up and up. But generally, when I start out with somebody that has either a single product or information, I'm like, let's budget $500 a month. That'll give us the ability to do $5 to $10 a day on Facebook, and then have a little bit left over because there's going to be some software that we have to pay for. Like you guys use Drift on your website, little things like that where they're either free for a free trial or it's $30 a month or $50 or whatever. So there's always going to be a couple of those little things.
And can you explain the whole like boosting versus advertising? Because that's another thing, like people are all trying to do this on their own, not working with an expert. And basically what I think is just throwing their money out the window if they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, they don't know they don't know the definitions of
what that even means, right?
Yeah, and you and I were talking about this last night.
Yeah, just last night. So boosting a post, like if I own a Facebook business page and I put something out there, an event or whatever it may be, and I just want to get it out to either the people that just follow the page or the people that follow my page and their friends, and I don't want to do super detailed targeting, I can just boost the post. So I'll create the post. Okay. There's a little button that says boost. You hit that, couple options, and you're good to go. You choose your budget and all that stuff. On the other hand, you have the Facebook Ads Manager, which you go into the back end, and there's like every option under the sun.
Right.
And there's all of these different demographics, and you can choose people that make a certain amount of money and that live in a certain radius of this address, and all sorts of options. So it's kind of that next level when you're ready to start targeting specific groups of people outside of the people that just follow your page. That's where that ads manager comes into play.
So the boost is just your percentage of your network.
Yeah,
and their friends.
I mean, and there's basic demographics that you can do, but nowhere near like you can do in the back end. Gotcha. And then there's also crossover where we have talked before about you handle all the Instagram stuff. So you're on Instagram and you're boosting or whatever they call it on Instagram for the ads there. When that shows up, and then you're pushing it over to the Facebook page. So when that shows up on Facebook, then do I boost the post, or now do I have to go into the back end and reset up another ad?
Yeah.
In the ads manager, you can go in and set up the ad and then push it out to Facebook and Instagram at the same time with the same budget and all that. So just kind of a one-stop shop.
And boosting is more just getting awareness, not necessarily like helping people get sales for their product.
Yeah, I mean, you can do both.
Okay.
I think it works a little better if you're just trying to get awareness and you're trying to build a following to your page and that kind of stuff. But I've done both.
Okay. Awesome.
Interesting. So besides the paid marketing, there is some natural marketing, your search engine marketing, right? SEO. Some people still don't know what that really even means,
right.
like, and why it's important. I know we've done some in the past, but I think almost every site has room for improvement. So if you have a website, what is SEO and what should you do?
You start a website and then you start getting hit up by all these crazy companies saying, we'll do SEO for you and this and that. And it's like,
and you, Jeff, are like the SEO king. Like, this guy can get you to number one.
Well,
I've
so
seen your
Real
Angry
fast.
Bird site.
I don't even know if it's in my bio anymore, but I ran my own SEO company for a while after I did all the stuff for the real estate company that I worked for. I got out of that and just did that for about a year and a half. And a lot of it was in the real estate world, but part of me having my 200 websites and the Angry Bird site and all that stuff, I always wanted something that I could test things on so that I knew whatever I was doing wasn't going to screw up my clients' websites. That that's their livelihood. So like if I'm trying not to cuss. If I effed up your guys' website tomorrow, like, you'd be screwed. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that on my shoulders. And so I always wanted to have something that I could test things on. A lot of times I would test stuff. It would work really, really, really well. I'd make a bunch of money from that website and then I'd go sell it. And so, that's what I do with the Angry Bird sites. But so SEO, search engine optimization, for those that don't know what it means, it's really just getting your website to rank in Google when somebody searches for specific keywords. Now there's all these different types. I could talk about SEO for like 10 days, by the way. So I'm going to try to keep it super basic. But
yeah, tell us the basics.
Local SEO is when you're in a physical location and you're trying to get somebody to just be able to find your place. So like in my case with my new club, the first thing I did was I went out and did all these steps for the local SEO side, and that is fairly inexpensive, and I don't want to say easy, but if somebody just gives you a little bit of guidance, it's pretty damn easy.
So that's something you could potentially learn and do on your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just go Google local SEO tips, find the SEO Moz website and follow their stupid videos.
Okay.
And you'll
Gotcha.
be good. And what that does is, like, if somebody goes and Googles the Keep PDX, the fact that it then shows up in the little map with my location, my phone number, my reviews, and all that stuff, that's all that is. Now, if I'm targeting a national keyword or a global keyword, or like in your guys' case, food meal prep delivery or whatever those combination of keywords, that's a little different because it's not a location based. But if I say food delivery service in Portland,
right?
How do I get your website to rank number one for that? That revolves around having a good website structure in place, all the SEO done to the actual site, and then content, the social media buzz. There's 50 different, it's probably like 500 different things that the algorithm looks at and changes every damn day. And so it's just a constant chess match. Like, is that me beeping? Chess match against me versus all these crazy smart people at Google. And it's just one of those things where with the right amount of effort and a little bit of money, you can do magic. The black magic that everybody
someone
thinks it is.
like us who was just starting out at the time, and I had no experience with SEO whatsoever. Do you think someone starting out should spend the time and money into SEO first? And if so, what should you budget for that SEO?
So that's it's an easy question to answer. No is the answer. So figure out your story, your people, and how to connect with them and tell that story.
The story, going back to the story.
Social media, like that's
Yes.
the place to be, and it's free generally. So, unless you're doing Facebook ads. So the quickest and easiest way to get an audience built up and to get your word out about something is social media.
Okay.
Generally, and when I say that, organic social media. So start out with your family, your friends, your connections, build that. Then you can get into the pay to play, and then the SEO stuff. And the SEO stuff, as you build that social buzz around your site, part of what the search engines look for is, the authenticity and the authority that comes with having an actual brand and a site like that. They can tell when there's this buzz and people are linking to it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and this and that. Like it builds authority just in itself. So that's a good way to just kind of kickstart the whole process.
Okay.
Then you
People
can
are
get
tagging you in different posts, that sort of thing.
And when you think about it, like everybody wants to game Google, right? Well, I go the other way around and I say, let's break it down and say, I want it to look as natural as possible. If I'm starting on a brand and I'm starting something brand new, first thing I do is go tell my family and friends. They come and check out the website. You know, they're on there clicking around. Google, when you install Google Analytics, it sees all of this and it knows what people are clicking on, knows how long they're there, what pages they're going to. So you just want to build that naturally over time. And then down the road, there's some things we can do to game the system, for lack of better words, where we have to pay, we pay for traffic, we pay for backlinks from certain websites that are more authoritative, and that all builds up.
Okay.
And that's how we get those rankings.
Gotcha.
And you can spend, SEO is such a snake oil industry. It's part of the reason I got out of it. I was tired of trying to explain myself and defend myself all the time when you've got a million other people that are out there just screwing clients and taking their money every month. They do it for 6 or 7 months. The client doesn't get any results. They're like, hey, what the hell? And then the company's like, sorry, next. And they go find somebody else. And then they call me and I'm like, I don't do that. And they're like, that's what that guy said. It's just, it got pretty old. So, but a good SEO company and when you're ready to get to that level, you're going to spend thousands of dollars on SEO every month.
Every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of one of those things, like take advantage of the free stuff first, then do the paid to play cheaper stuff, build up to it. And then when you have sales coming in and you're ready, then we can start going that organic.
So most large companies are paying for SEO continuously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I shouldn't say continuous. Like there comes to a point, and this was also part of the reason why I got out of it, was like any good SEO company, any good marketing company, my goal is to teach my clients to be dangerous enough that they know what they're doing so that they don't really need me anymore. And part of what I do these days versus what I used to do all the work, which sucked. It was boring and I hated it, but I made pretty good money. Well, now I'm more of like a consultant and a quarterback. So I will teach you guys, depending on how hands on or off you want to be, I'll teach you guys how to do it. And then my goal is like after a few months, you know what you're doing. I don't need to do anything anymore.
Kind of like a personal trainer.
Kind of. Yeah.
Teach a man to fish and then he fishes the rest of his life.
Right.
Yes.
Something
Very
like that.
cool. Very cool. So as far as for people out there that maybe aren't in Portland, they can't sit down and talk with you. They're in Boston or whatever. What kind of questions should you ask somebody to find out if they're actually legit?
And where should they not look? Because I remember, there's a lot of people that are overseas doing this SEO for like super cheap. And you're like, they're like, we can rank you like number one. And they're super cheap.
Yeah.
I get those phone calls all the time.
Well, so, how do you navigate around that?
Another tricky question. Not tricky in the sense.
We're trying to trick you today.
Yeah.
No,
it's just a one-word answer though.
Don't. Never, if you Google like SEO services, right? You always think, okay, obviously the people that rank number one for SEO services, like they're probably pretty good at it.
Yep.
SEO services or SEO, whatever it is, like that's a pretty competitive business. Whatever is at the top, but they're going to be super, super expensive.
Okay.
So usually I tell people, hey, just, reach out local. Don't ever go to Craigslist. I think you just said that. Like, don't go to Craigslist.
So
I mean,
local, do not do what Loren just said. Don't go to Craigslist.
Yeah, so like if
I was saying don't go to Craigslist. I wasn't saying go to Craigslist.
If I'm in Portland, I would Google something like SEO services in Portland. And I want to deal with a local company. I want to go meet with them, and the questions that I want to ask are: A, can I talk to some of your current and past clients? And B, show me the reports that I'm going to get on a weekly or monthly basis.
Okay.
Because any legitimate SEO service company is going to provide you a report. And that report's going to contain things like current rankings, the work. I want to see the work that you did this month. Did you create content? Did you write copy? Did you buy backlinks or create backlinks? Like whatever it is, they should be able to give you a report at the end of every month. Like I gave my clients, here were your rankings last week. Here are your rankings this week or this month. Month over month, ideally. And honestly, I always want to see some sort of improvement, or at least I don't ever see rankings fall.
Right.
Unless I do something drastic and I, prepare my clients for that, because sometimes that happens. And then the content that I created, the backlinks I created, whatever it may be. But going back to asking for referrals, hey, I want to talk to some of your current clients or even some of your past clients. Now, when I was working with my clients, I generally, and this is kind of a catch-22, I wouldn't give my clients information. I had a rule that I wouldn't deal with the same type of client in the same area. So if I'm dealing with a real estate agent in Portland, I'm not going to take another real estate agent in Portland because then I'm competing with myself, and that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense, huh? Don't do that.
In my mind. But, if I had somebody in Boston reach out to me and say, hey, I'm thinking about hiring you, I'd be like, all right, cool. Here are 3 other people in 3 different cities that you can talk to, and they'll tell you all about what I do and, share their results and the value I provide. And anybody who hesitates to do that is doing something shady. And like I said, it's a shady business. So
yeah. Good advice.
So ask a lot of questions and get some data.
Yeah, get some referrals and ask for reports.
Yeah. So and I know you guys went through this with like a digital marketing company for the Facebook ad stuff. Like it's the same idea. It's show me what you can do and tell me a few people I can talk to that can verify that.
Yeah.
Right.
Shouldn't be hard.
Interviewing is, well, we learned that along the way. In interviewing anyone in this whole process, you do have to ask for results that they've gotten, so you don't want to waste your money. You can waste your money very fast in SEO, I'm sure.
And time. Time is more expensive than money sometimes.
Well, and people used to always ask me at the time when I ran my SEO company, the name of the company was Results by Bern. And I'm like, hey, my last name is Bernheisel. People can't say it or spell it, so I shortened it. And I was just like, hey, my job is to get you results, right? That's what you're paying for. So that's the name of my company. It made sense in my mind at the time.
Do you think social media is the main platform people should be focusing on for marketing? Is that your game plan right now with opening up the Keep? Are you thinking about any like old school marketing?
As opposed to like what?
As opposed to print ads, as opposed to mailers, like
mailers.
Yeah.
Old
mailers are still around.
They're making a comeback.
They still work. I mean, so
they are.
In my mind, I want to hit people from every possible angle, but I want to do it strategically and cost effectively. So, I look and say, I have a budget when I first start. And to go back, doing this business in my spare time by myself with no funding has provided
how that feels.
A whole set of challenges, right? So you're bootstrapping it, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, I have a limited budget, and I know that. So let me do the free things first. That's social media. Then let me do the minimal paid things, and then once that starts bringing income in, then I can do things, print, all the traditional media that costs more money. If I'm gonna focus on one thing right now, it's social media, and the free and the paid. Then for my business, print stuff, I want to get articles in Portland Monthly or Willamette Weekly or whatever it may be. I don't necessarily want to pay for ads because they're I'm not gonna pay $5,000 for an ad. Unless it's in like the Rob report, it has to fit your business. And so same thing with you guys, like you have a very niche, and if you look at your demographics, you've got a couple ultra specific niches. So, hitting the nurses on some sort of publication that they read all the time, whatever that may be, those things, like those are still worth it. Doing mailers for certain products and certain things are worth it. Always comes down to, how do I know that I'm getting my money out of that? How do I track results from that? Going back to the results thing. And there's little tricks you can do in that. Like if I'm doing a mailer or a postcard or whatever it may be, create a custom URL on your website and just track, people that land on that URL, came from that postcard.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like people do Bitly links and crap like that. But, if we did a lot of that in our real estate days, so it would be, name of the brokerage.com / Jeff knows Portland. And I know I only put that link on this postcard.
Okay.
So if I get 50 hits this week on that link, look at my Google Analytics, I know 50 people came from that postcard.
I always wondered.
And then you just, then however they go down the funnel and whatever your end goal is, if it's to sell food or sell a house or SEO or whatever. Yeah. Then you just track it down that funnel and you're like, all right, well, 50 people hit it, 20 people registered and 5 people made appointments. And I made $4,000 from it. What was the cost of that postcard? $4,000. Is it worth it?
Right.
And that's it.
Cool.
It's like not.
So you still can track print ads. Yeah. That's what I always.
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people do crap like QR codes and those are stupid
things.
I hope not.
I never.
I think we've been waiting for QR codes to take off for 10 years.
You still use them.
I don't.
Lie. You're lying. You're lying.
I don't have a QR code reader downloaded on my phone. So if someone wanted to, it sounds like you're still doing that as far as consulting, teaching, and some doing still.
I do.
You don't sleep.
What kind of services could somebody contact you for?
That's hard right now. So I mean, I have a full-time job at the title company that I'm kind of transitioning out of as I open the Keep. Once I get the Keep open, I'm gonna have a lot of time down there and getting that all dialed in. Then I want to actually do consulting for specific type, like for you guys and for people that need help, small businesses. I don't want to go into anything huge and crazy where I have to scale, which then goes back to your cheap SEO guys that work out of the country. When I was running my SEO business, I contracted with a lot of those guys because I got to the point where I can't do all the work, and I need to have a team of people that can. It was super hard, though, to find quality people that could follow friggin' directions. So
I know that.
it was like, I want you to do this, and they would come back and do something completely different. I'm like, now you just messed it all up. So... I don't want to get into the point where if it's a massive project. The cool thing about me, I'm connected with all these people, and I get a lot of people that come to me and they're like, hey, I need help with this. If it's a project that I feel I'm not a good fit for because it's too big or is going to take up too much time or whatever, maybe I'll connect them with the right company and kind of help them through that process to make a good choice and get a legitimate company that's going to help them. Otherwise, I'll, if like when you came to me, I actually told you no in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just don't have time for that.
And it was true. You didn't.
I don't. And then, a few months later, you're like, dude, I've hired this company. They're charging me this. Here's what they're doing. And I was like, oh, man.
Help us, Jeff, please.
So like, all right, I'll sit down. And I mean, I think it worked out for everybody, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we're
like
we couldn't be happier. That's for sure. I mean, our sales have skyrocketed and been consistently going up.
Right.
Like we've only gotten better at doing it.
Results.
Yeah, it's the results by birth. We just keep getting better and better at what we're doing, working with each other.
Right.
Learning the ins and outs. Like we sat down last week and talked about just our overall game plan, which was pretty eye-opening as far as what I need to do to get ready for you to do what you do.
Well, and part of what so to directly answer your question, part of what I enjoy doing now is the consulting and kind of being the quarterback. So I have people that can do the work. This is going to sound lazy, but I don't like to do the work.
Well, it's tedious work, right? I mean, SEO and social.
Yeah, especially SEO. Like that stuff, I'm trying my hardest to not do that at all. I don't mind doing Facebook ads. I don't want to say it's easy. It's easy enough for me to go in and set it all up and to kind of manage it and all that. What I like doing though is teaching you guys. So you guys are a little more hands off, where you're like, hey, dude, we're super busy. We just want you to do it, which I'm cool with. Yeah. But there are other clients that are like, hey, I want to learn how to do this. I want you to do it for me, but then teach me how to do it. And that's where usually I'll say, hey, let's do like a 3-month contract, and my goal is to teach myself out of a job. So I charge a little bit more for that, but in 3 months, my goal is to have you guys handle it. And then
I love that. That's what I do with like my personal training clients.
Yeah, it's the same type of thing. And so I mean, they're happy in the end, and generally I'll say, hey, after that 3 months, if you have questions, I'm always going to answer your questions.
Yeah.
If you have a detailed question and you need help setting something up, like I'm probably going to charge you for that, but my goal is after 3 months to just be like, all right, you're on your own, like fly little bird.
You can do it.
Because of all this marketing and SEO, you felt like it was time for you to step out again and do something on your own, which is the Keep. And it's going to be I think it's going to be a smash hit. Right? Like, so
freaking better be.
Internally, what was it that drove you to say, I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing now, which you could keep doing for the rest of your life?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm always going to
do something different.
Real estate, technology, and marketing are like, those are my things.
Yeah.
That's built in. I can't get rid of that if I wanted to, I don't think. But at the same time, I started with the whiskey website and, built that up, and, we're doing some stuff with that and probably looking at getting it sold off. I don't think that's, cut that out. But I don't think it's a secret. I mean, we're shopping around and doing some stuff, but my goal with that, and that was part of why they brought me onto the team, was they wanted to build it up and then after a few years turn around and sell it. And I have done that many times. And so we're at that stage now where that is happening. And I'm kind of looking at that and I'm like, man, I built this whiskey bar down in my basement so that I could do podcasts and some video stuff. My basement's super small, so we outgrew that when I want to have friends over or whatever.
That's right. You were doing podcasts.
Yeah, so I mean, I did 5 or 6 episodes, and then I joined the Whiskey Wash team, and we started doing it for the Whiskey Wash. And then I kind of just, we stopped for various reasons. And it got to the point where I'm like, all right, that was fun. I really enjoyed doing that, and I love whiskey, and I love teaching people about it, and you can attest. Like, I go through the world of whiskey tasting.
In the world.
And it'll change your life about how you think about whiskey.
It really does. The minute details of each one are just absolutely incredible.
So I'm like, what can I do that would be business and consulting and I can have fun with, that's whiskey related? And I kind of just was joking about it at first, but I was like, man, I should just open up, a bigger man cave version of my basement.
Like, / women.
Well, yeah, person cave.
Man as in like mankind.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Right. You know what I mean. Which is interesting. There's a whole other story about the whole, like, the demographics of this new business that I'm opening.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, and causing some hatred. But what led to it was, I'm looking for a way where I can break out of doing what I'm doing, go off on my own again, do something that I love that has a monthly recurring revenue, so the whiskey lockers and the membership and all that stuff, but then still be able to do consulting and help people and some fun projects like whiskey tastings and videos of cocktail people that want to come in and make crazy cocktail videos or whatever it may be. So that was just kind of the idea behind it. And then having some experiences here in town with some specific whiskey bars that are very pretentious, and I just got tired of it. And I'm like, hey, I'm a salesperson and I'm a marketing guy and a consulting guy, and I need a place to have meetings. I'm tired of doing the bar thing. I'm tired of doing the coffee shop thing. What if I open my own place where you can do that, have a conference room, do what now, all that stuff. And so it just turned into this massive
way bigger
How
than
big
you
is
thought.
it's 12,000 square feet.
No big deal. No big
with
deal.
a massive event room with a stage and a bar room and 2 big, huge conference rooms. And
so you'll bring your own bottle and your own guests down there. And it's in a basement. It's super cool. It feels like you're walking through a bank vault.
Yeah, so everybody knows the Melody Ballroom. It's and actually I'm helping the new owner of that do rebranding and a new website, and we're rebranding it the Melody Event Center.
Cool.
Because the ballroom, you either know the Melody Ballroom or you don't. And if you don't know it, you're like, oh, what do you do? Ballroom dancing? That's cool. And they're like, no, we do weddings and corporate meetings and birthday parties and all sorts of stuff. But so we're trying to get rid of the ballroom. I don't call it a stigma, but kind of a stigma, and rebranding it. So I'm helping him with that. So anyway, I took over the basement of that space, and it was originally built in 1925, and it was a speakeasy jazz club, like gentleman's club thing down there. So it had like a big soaking pool and
it did?
Like crazy.
I didn't know that.
So a lot of history in that. Yeah, it was. I mean, if those walls could talk.
Social club.
I feel like they were talking to me last time I was down there.
Yeah, people have been like,
there's some stories down here. Yeah,
Kurt Cobain, some Nirvana history. There's a lot of history in this space. So the first time I walked down this little hallway to get into it, the hairs on the back of my neck just stood up, and I was like, holy shit, this place is way bigger than I want, but I have to have it. And I sat there literally as the guy's giving me the tour, and I'm crunching numbers in my head, and I'm like, there goes my budget, there goes my timeline, there goes everything.
Yeah.
But this is amazing, and I have to do it. I have to make it work. So I'm making it work.
And you're passionate about it, and it's going to be amazing.
That's the mindset you need as an entrepreneur.
It's just,
right?
Yeah. I mean, I've hit every fucking roadblock you can hit.
Yeah.
And you just plowed through.
And I'm just, every day, I'm like, I have to keep pushing because I am going to make this work, and it's going to be amazing.
It is.
And I'm super thankful for all the support of my friends, obviously, and the people that are signing up for memberships already before it's open. I mean, I have a lot of support building, and I think right now we're about a month away from opening, hopefully, and we have this just massive groundswell building, and it's about to pop, and I think I'm getting excited.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
We're members.
Wait, yes.
Already.
Yep.
So Jeff is already, I don't know how he's done this, but he already has haters, which took us like 2 years to actually get haters. And haters is a good thing. It means you're doing something
So I try to tell
you're out
myself,
there,
I'm like,
right?
I'm doing something right because these people are dicks.
You're
But-
sticking your neck out. Someone's trying to chop it off.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know how to deal with the haters or the negative comments. Do you respond to them? Do you not respond to them?
Do you just delete
Do you
them and
delete
block
them?
them?
Yeah.
You're obviously already a pro at this. So tell us kind of like what you would advise people to do for negative comments.
Well, so one of the biggest projects I've worked on in the last year for my actual day job was setting up a feedback loop system for, it's a title and escrow company, and we're nationwide. So I set up a feedback loop. So every time some transaction happens, an email goes out that asks people, everybody that was involved in the transaction, the consumers, the realtors, the lenders, like, we're asking them for feedback.
right.
If it's a negative feedback, it's an internal loop. If it's positive feedback, we push them out to Google, Facebook, Yelp, wherever. So we're trying to build this like positive social experience. So part of doing that was I basically had to write the book on how to respond to negativity and the positive stuff too. I mean, because you want to respond to those as well.
Yes.
So really what I tell people, and in my case, it's like, I'm pushing Facebook ads out there. You guys got the same thing. We're pushing Facebook ads. We're social media. Like, there are people that just don't like people like us. There are people that look at my club and what I'm building, and they're like, oh, sounds like a club for a bunch of rich white dickheads. And I'm like, okay, that's my baby you just called a rich white dickhead, or me, and you call me a rich white dickhead, I guess. But so, you take offense to it, right? The very first instinct you have is you get defensive and you get pissed off.
Yes, especially if you're the owner.
When you built it, when you grew it.
Yeah, like you just called my baby ugly.
Any negative thing is like, it's offensive.
Right. So the very first thing I always tell people is, hey, chill out. Take a deep breath, go walk around the damn building, or do whatever you need to do to just relax for a minute.
Yeah.
Don't become a keyboard warrior and start, that's never going to end well.
Yes, that's never
And
good.
so,
Yeah.
the first few times you do it and it feels good, and then they go get their friends and it becomes a war, and it's
Snowballs.
and nobody wins ever.
Yeah.
And there's a million cases we can point out online where that just backfired horribly. So what I always tell people is, hey, chill out for a minute, gather your senses. If it's something that you can respond to, like I showed you several of the examples where people were like just being totally rude, where I'm like, hey, I'm a normal dude and I'm just trying to run a business. Come down, I'll give you a glass of whiskey or wine or whatever. Like, let's have a drink and I'll show you that I'm a normal dude and just trying to run a business. Like, I'm a human, whatever.
Yeah.
And if not, then that's fine. I mean, you have your own opinion.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and like, they didn't really know how to respond to that either. And then they just, they respond negatively again. Like, well, so finally in the end, I was just like, you know what? If it's something that needs addressing, like if it's a legitimate issue where I've done something stupid and people are bringing it up, fix the problem. First of all, tell the people like, hey, my bad. Let's fix this. What can I do to fix this? Whatever it may be. Yeah. But if it's just people that are just straight hating because they're jealous or they're mad or they don't like you or you're funny looking to them or whatever it may be, I've been just deleting them. I mean, the ones today I told you about, I got another one today, and I just delete it.
Okay.
If I try not to let it bug me. It still bugs me, but I just delete it. Try to forget about it. I'm too busy for that shit.
Yeah, so case by case basis, respond to the ones that
if it's something that I've screwed up on or like a legitimate concern with the business, then you respond and you do it publicly. I always tell people respond and try to take it offline. So if you guys take it offline.
Okay.
So somebody responds and says like, hey, I tripped and fell in your place and whatever. Hey, my bad. This this is what happened. Here's what we're gonna do. Please call me, please email me, do whatever to take that conversation offline. Because then when somebody else comes and they, if they're looking for reviews or they Google you and they see this review, for me specifically, the people were actually starting to leave reviews. I'm like, I'm not even open yet. How are you leaving reviews? Come on.
That blew my mind. I'm like, he's not even open.
Like you're starting with 0 stars.
It's like I got like negative reviews.
Stars.
But I'm like, respond appropriately, because then think about how we shop for stuff on Amazon or literally anything really. If I go find something on Amazon and I see it has nothing but 5 stars, I'm a little skeptical.
Right.
Depending, if there's 1 or 2, that's fine. But if there's like 500 5-star reviews, I'm like, that seems shady. Always like having a negative review isn't the end of the world, and it adds a little bit of legitimacy if you respond and you say, hey, sorry about that. here's what we can do to fix it. Please contact me and let's get this taken care of. And you take it offline. Because if you don't take it offline, this conversation goes, and if it takes a wrong turn again, people see that and they're just like,
So
but think about
the high road.
Yeah, always take the high road and take it offline if you can. Because then when people Google it and they see that, they're like, oh, the business responded, so they actually freaking care. And B, maybe this person's just an idiot. I mean, half the times when I read bad reviews on Amazon, I'm like, yeah, that guy just sounds like a freaking idiot.
He spelled that wrong and that wrong and
and that doesn't help when there's grammar issues. I'm a grammar Nazi, but I mean, people leave reviews where they're like, you can literally tell they didn't follow the directions on how to put it together or how to use it or how to do it, whatever it may be, and you're just like, you're an idiot, and I can tell that. So whatever. And then you look at the other reviews, and if there's 2 stars, 3 stars, it's always, it adds a level of legitimacy if the business responds appropriately. There's some cases
4.
like
4.8, 4.9.
Yeah, I mean,
don't be scared of the bad reviews.
Yep, just respond appropriately. And
God, I think we lost like 3 nights of sleep.
I think I cried when we got our first bad review.
It was bad. It was a bad night.
Well, it's always like the first time it happens, you're always like, oh, it's the end of the world. This is my baby. You call it ugly.
They hate me. You take it really personally.
Yeah.
But now we know why. Like people leave bad reviews.
Yeah, it's that cilantro shit you put in it.
so caveat, everybody.
You don't love cilantro.
There's a small percentage of humans that have a gene that makes cilantro taste like soap,
which Jeff has.
And Jeff has that. So in the notes for his meals is no fucking cilantro. That shit tastes like ass.
I said something like it doesn't
and
have
the
a.
whole team just laughs at it.
I said it doesn't have a. It has no place in my food or in my life. And on the notes that I got this week, it just said LOL.
So that leads me to my next topic. You are an insanely busy human being, and you are trying to take better care of yourself. Like you're coming to the realization that you're one human being and you're finite.
Yes.
What are you doing to take care of yourself nutritionally and beyond?
Well, so it's been super eye-opening the last few months. Like it's been the most stressful 6 months of my life. I mean, hands down. The last month has been the most stressful month of my life. 2 years ago, I almost died because I have some crazy, like the highest blood pressure my doctor has ever seen. Genetics, like I've always been in pretty good health, and I don't eat great. Getting better. Didn't eat great at the time, but not horrible. Like I don't eat fast food. I try to, but I eat out a lot. I eat out pretty much every meal, or I have it delivered or whatever. So I almost die. I spent a bunch of time in the hospital, a bunch of time in bed, and I just got out and I was like, I need to change a lot of things about my life. And that was about the time when I was like, I'm stressed out. I'm traveling way too much. I'm going to travel less and focus on getting to a point where I'm more in control, which has led me to this path where I am today. So fast forward to now where I'm like, all right, super stressed out. Like I look back 2 years ago, I didn't think I was stressed out when I almost died. Now I'm like, I am about to explode. So I have a doctor's appointment like a month ago. Just a normal checkup, like nothing's wrong, but they're pestering me, so I finally go in and they take all these tests and they're like, man, I don't know what it is that you've been doing, but like your blood pressure has dropped. Everything's perfect.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm like,
really?
He goes, just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, I am so stressed right now. I'm about to explode. And you're telling me just everything's good? And he's like, yeah. He's like, so I was taking 2 blood pressure medications at the time. Now I'm on 1. They're like, you can get rid of the other one.
Good.
And I'm almost to the point where I can get rid of the other one as well. And so it just came like in the last few weeks, I was like, it caught up with me though. So I'm super busy, doing all these things, and I'm just worn out.
Yeah.
It's taken its toll. And so I sat down again and was like, what do I need to do, and how can I take to the next step to be a little more healthy and get back a little more time and I've been a client of your guys' off and on for like since day one.
Yeah, since day one.
Yeah, you're one of the first.
Yep.
So I re-signed up again last week, and that's part of where I was telling you today. I got to the point where I hate vegetables. By the way, I don't like. Yeah. Going back,
like
I'm allergic to vegetables. I hate vegetables.
Not even tomatoes on his burger.
But I got to the point where I'm like, I know that everything that my mom told me when I was a kid is now coming true. I'm getting to the point where I'm 40 and my body is doing different things, and I need to get a little more healthy. And so I'm trying to just get in the mindset of just freaking eat it. So other than cilantro, I can't stomach that. But when I get the food, I'm like, there's broccoli in this. Normally I would have been like, yep, I'm not gonna eat that one. or that.
Eat right around it.
So now I'm just like, you know what? It's good for me. Just friggin' eat it. It's a mental thing. It's usually all it comes down to. So eating better, drinking more water, and actually just trying to do some sort of physical activity. So I bought a rowing machine, and I've never been the type of guy that goes to a gym. I hate the gym.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, give me something that I can do for 15 minutes that's kind of a full body workout. So rowing is that. And
rowing's great.
Seems to be working. I feel better, at least.
That's awesome.
And my doctor thinks so.
Whatever you're doing,
keep doing it.
I'm like, really? Because I thought I was going to die last week again, but apparently I'm good. So
well, I'm glad you're not dying and that you're back on the meals and you're taking better care of yourself.
Yep. I'm looking forward to getting, like, in the next month where I can quit my job and focus on my new project, The Keep, and then start doing some consulting. And it's just going to be, it's going to be more fun. I don't want to talk bad about my job, but it's stressful. I've been doing it forever, and I'm just kind of burnt out.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's why I'm one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this new thing is I'm just kind of burnt out in that world. And so I'm looking forward to transitioning and having some fun again.
Nice. I think this will be a lot of fun.
So if you are in the Portland area, you have to check out The Keep. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be open very soon, and we'll keep you guys all updated.
Check out these coasters he made us.
Oh, yes, and we have these fancy coasters.
How cool is that?
I'm building this, part of my background of branding and marketing.
Great
it's
branding.
Like, people are like, how the hell you have better branding for your company and it's not even open yet? Well, that's part, like I said in the beginning, figure out your story, figure out a way to tell it, and find your people. So part of the branding was like very important in the beginning. So.
That's great.
Lastly, this is my favorite part of the show, which is rapid fire questions.
Rapid fire.
So
we need like an intro song.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Go rapid fire.
Sunday.
With like, pew, pew, sit on the edge of your seat.
So we're gonna do 30 seconds. I will set the timer. Loren and I will ask you questions. You answer as fast as possible.
Rapid fire.
And he has not seen these questions.
Gotta hurry. Don't look.
All right, ready?
That's how I live my life.
3, 2, 1. Favorite whiskey?
Ooh, Dalmore.
Favorite social media platform?
Facebook.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Dream vacation?
Fiji.
Who is your role model?
Wow. Skip?
What?
Favorite season?
Summer.
Best job ever?
Doing what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to do consulting stuff. Just helping people.
Dog or cat?
Actually, dog. Going back to the job question.
Best friend?
Loren. Yes. Working at a golf course. Like, dream job when I'm 60.
I feel like a lot of people say
I'm just
that.
gonna retire and work at a golf course and get free golf.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
I'll do that with you.
Loren's gonna take up golfing with you.
Walk around.
Yeah, I need to take up golfing.
Golfing's fun.
Everyone says it's a lot of good times.
Can be. It will be super stressful too.
Depends
on if you're good at.
Not more than running a car.
Well, I should say, like, I'm not great. I was on the golf team in high school and all that crap, but like, I'm just moderately okay. But I have a blast doing it.
Yeah.
And you can maintain golfing forever. That's why I think
a lot of
people
these
get
dudes, like, they're 80 years old. They look like they're just barely swinging and they outdrive me. And I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
It's a good sport.
Huh.
Jeff, thank you so much for being here. I actually learned even more than you've already taught me about marketing, social media wise, SEO, what to look for, what not to look for, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. And we will keep everybody posted on when the Keep is open and when you can come hang out.
Yeah, we'll have links to it in everything so they can find you. And thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Meaningfull Podcast.
Make sure to hit subscribe because every time you do, a baby elephant gets its wings.
And if you want to be the first to get updates whenever we release a new video, click the bell button to turn on notifications.
Thank you so much for watching.